Ohio Mina-san, what's up, weebs and casuals alike? We are Baka and Company, and we're here to provide you with a deep dive into all the random anime shows and movies we thought were interesting. We'll talk about both new and old, good and bad, and everything in between. On this show, we'll have myself, the Rum Raisin Ranger, Drew Tendo64, the spicy sweet superhero, it's Frankfurter,
Red Gelato.
and the banana cream badass, it's Magically Average.
I'm creamy all over.
I hate that.
And I immediately regret that. Yes.
Yep.
This is take two, and you still decided to tee him up for that. Jeez, Louise.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was gonna say I'll
100%.
give you a taste of my cream, but then I thought we would just get flagged. So
And
I decided
we're
to go with the
canceled.
more
I
PC
hate
version.
Everything about you. Anywho, what did we watch
Right.
this week?
We watched Love After World Domination. It was a Japanese manga series written by Hiroshi Noda, illustrated by Takahiro Wakamatsu. It was serialized by Kodansha over at their Shonen Weekly Monthly magazine. Wow, that's a hard today. And it went from October 2019 all the way till this month, November 2022. The show itself was directed by Iwata Kazuya. He did 6 episodes on Bunny Girl. It was produced by Project 9. They've done shows like And You Thought There Was Never a Girl Online and Bottom Tier Character Tomozaki. I didn't say this the first time, but I'll say it this time. I don't know what those shows are. I've never seen them.
I watched bottom tier character Tomozaki. It was okay. I feel like I've watched And You Thought There Was Never a Girl Online, but I don't really remember. Maybe I do. I don't know. The only thing that I know,
It's all a blur.
yeah, the only thing I know that I've seen by them other than this show is Higehiro, and that's it. That's it. I was about to say the only show that I actually know by them though is my stepmom's daughter is my ex, which I think you watched that, Tyler?
Yeah. I'd still have to finish it, but yeah.
I was thinking about picking up that one. It's kind of there on my back burner kind of second tier list of stuff I would like to watch, but I'm not currently watching. But if you haven't guessed it already, the plot for this show is a Super Sentai show. It's mainly about our fearless red leader, Fudo, and his beautiful love interest, Desumi, the Reaper Princess, which they have like a secret relationship they're dating, and it eventually becomes not so secret, and they have wild adventures on how that has to go and how they have to try and hide it from their quote-unquote bosses. The characters that we have for the Gelato 5 are Fudo. He's our love-struck Red Ranger leader. We have Hayato, who is Gelato Blue. He's kind of like the fancy pretty boy who's trying to hit on all the women. We have Misaki, the older big sister who always has a beer. She's Gelato Yellow. Diago, Gelato Green. He's like the cool, calm karate guy. We have Haru, the Gelato Pink Ranger. She is their newest member. She's kind of like an idol type character, and she has previous connections to Desumi. And then we have the ever so crackpot loving, I don't know, he's just weird. That sentence got away from me, but we got Big Gelato. He's like Dr. Light if Dr. Light did a lot of drugs.
So, real quick, did y'all watch
Fairly
this?
accurate.
Did y'all watch this subbed or dubbed, by the way?
I did half and half, so I watched some episodes. I watched the early episodes in subs, and then I switched to dubs to finish it off.
So I watched the entire things in dubs, and I thought actually the voice acting was good, but what
Yeah.
stood out to me most is Desumi's voice actress, because she has such a noticeable voice. It's very like you could pick it out of a crowd. She's in so many shows that I've watched this year. There's only 2 shows. She's been in 6, and there's only 2 I haven't watched, which one of them is Parallel World Pharmacy, and the other was Date Alive 4. But she was in Remake Our Life, which I watched the dubs for that, and she was great in that. But it was also so fucking weird to hear her voice in that after watching this. And then she was also in Heroines Run the Show, which I watched the subs for that, but I'm now interested in rewatching it to see what character she really played in that. But the biggest surprise to me is that she is the voice actress for Pochita in Chainsaw Man.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
One day you're a lovable character, the next you're the Reaper Princess. So Desime's, she's a schoolgirl. She has a part-time job as a mid-level boss, part of the secret society Gecko, our evil villain group. Her quote-unquote best friend is her cat Helco, little furry best friend. And then another interesting fact is they all kind of go to school together. So all the other princesses, like Beast Princess, Steel Princess, Blood Princess, like they're all kind of in the same high school setting, which I found pretty fun because they had to tie their normal lives somehow.
Yeah, they came up with like a weird excuse for that, where it's like the mob villain boss of Gecko was like, I just want them all to be in one centralized location to keep track of them. Nothing else. Also, they all
Yeah.
live together. Nothing weird about that either.
Nope.
It's
Not
not
at
like
all.
I'm watching.
It's just
Always watching.
It's just progressively getting creepier. One of the
I was gonna say,
moments
creamy
I
boy,
really
keep
enjoyed.
it in.
Oh God, just stop
I can't hold
encouraging
my
him.
cream.
Hold
I
the cream.
swear.
So frothy.
Anywho, what were you saying, Drew? That I cut you off?
No, that's all right. That was very enjoyable. I like that Decime is like a a family career villain, where her dad was just a regular henchman, and her mom looks to be like she's in the evil organization in some aspect, and they're all like cheering her on to go up the corporate ladder.
And here she
wasn't
is,
her
just not
dad-
caring, just like
Wasn't her dad like a minion? Because
Yeah,
he
was a
showed off
henchman.
his cool acrobatic rolls and death moves.
How to
By
take, like,
death
a
moves, I
punch.
mean how to die. Yeah.
And feign, fake dying / pretending to be dead, like playing dead. Yeah, he was the
All
ultimate,
fantastic.
just like hard ass, but like, oh, I'm gonna get my ass beat, so let me figure out how to make it hurt as less as possible, or as least as possible. I'm doing.
I feel
the
like
thing
there was
again.
another show I watched where it was a similar situation where they normalized like heroes and villains, and so much so like the families were all for both sides. Like you had those that were like, I'm teaching my children how to grow up to be the next supreme villain, and then vice versa. But I can't remember the show off the top of my head. It
Yeah,
might be
I
the
don't know.
Monster Development.
No,
I can't remember though.
No, I don't think so. That one was more so there was a girl that worked in a lab, and she tried to make the ultimate monster to take down like Sentai
Are you
people.
mansplaining?
Yes,
Like
I
I didn't
am.
watch it.
Yes,
Like
I
I
am.
didn't watch the show.
Did you watch the show?
I did.
I don't remember that. I thought we would have talked more about it if you did.
All you need to do is
we
push
just
up your-
both
Go
yeah.
ahead.
I think we just both kind of
Why did we
tapered off of it because
we
it wasn't.
we both
that
watched a
entertaining.
very mid show.
I think I finished it though.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure
I
I
think I
finished
finished
it
it, though.
too. It was mid as can be, but it was whatever.
Yeah, it wasn't that great. But no, I mean, I liked the concept with Love After World Domination though, because it's more of a like all the tropey elements of those older hero shows like Power Rangers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and stuff like that, where like you just have the constant state of heroes fighting villains and nothing ever ends, and you're like, why can't they just kill them or arrest them or like, you know, obliterate them? They have the technology. And it's like, well, no, we can't, because they're our mortal enemy. It's like, yeah, I know, so just fucking get rid of them. They're like, but then what do we do with our lives? It had those weird elements of like of that, and I'm like, yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of goofy.
That was my
I like
biggest
it.
nitpick, is that they would like one would defeat the other, and neither the villain would kill the hero nor the hero would like kill or arrest the villain.
Then
So
what are they going to do next week on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z?
I don't know. They can go to Gotham. Gotham has
Go
a
to the
shit
funeral?
They have a shit ton of fucking problems in Gotham. Just invade the fucking DC universe and kill the Joker next. I don't know. Batman won't do
That
it.
actually,
Whoa,
that
whoa,
is
whoa!
that's a morbid
Wow,
thought.
wow, wee, wow.
Like,
Oh,
tune in
so-
next week to Decime's funeral. They're all in attendance.
We haven't even really gotten
Oh,
into
boy.
what the plot of the show is. Of just
Yeah,
like
what is this show, Drew? We're just talking
Well-
nonsense.
It's about our fearless red leader, Fudo Gelato Red, and how he has struck up a relationship with the Reaper Princess Decimi, and how they actually have to try and keep this relationship a secret and fail miserably multiple times. But the fact that they create these giant battles, and I guess to answer Frank's question about why don't they arrest them, or even Tyler's, is they don't arrest them because they have to keep going on dates. So Fudo and Decimi make these big explosions. They punch each other. People are flying everywhere, and they're like, "Oh, I have a secret weapon. I'm gonna go get it." And he's like, "Don't worry, everyone. I'll follow her." And then they go on a date. They hold hands, and where they just chill out, ask each other how their day was, share phone numbers, get embarrassed, and just have ridiculous sessions. But the the other aspect to that is after the fight's done, everyone's gone to lick their wounds. Gelatos are high fiving. They're all cheering, having a great time. They also have the slice of life part of it where Fudo tries to plan like the perfect date in one of the episodes for Decimi, except he's never gone on a date, and the very like small tidbits of information he gets are like, do something you'll both enjoy. Do something that you will have fun doing. Eat something that is healthy and delicious. So he takes this extremely literally, and instead of like having a date and walking through the park, they go running. They go to a gym and work out. And then instead of getting dinner, he just gives her energy bars. And midway through, he gets a call from Misaki, Yellow Gelato, who was like, "Oh no, when I told you all that stuff, I was drunk. Like, this is actually what you should do. Like, don't listen. Go eat somewhere nice. I hope you're not feeding her energy bars." And he stares down. And he's got like this giant cooler backpack just stocked to the brim, full of them. And he's like, "What should I do?"
He
She's
knows
like, "Just
he
have
knows he
fun."
done fucked up.
Oh yeah, and then also the cute resolution to that is he freaks out. He thinks she ran away. He's getting dumped, but no, she actually went to like her favorite like boba tea shop. Is that where she goes?
Yeah,
I
I
think
think
so.
so.
Sure.
We'll go with that.
And then it took too long because there was a lineup, and that's why she's late. And it's this whole like sweet thing where misunderstanding, and it's cute, and they understand maybe this will work, and they're gonna go on another date, and it's super cute.
Yeah. Easily can just be summed up as two awkward people who have never dated
Yes.
before, but also have very strong physical powers.
Yeah, that's another thing too, where we find out later on Decimi is just pretty much like the karate champion of Japan, to a point where she actually shut down a dojo because she was kicking people's asses and knocked out the sensei. And we find out Daigo has like PTSD from it because he used to train with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
She, I
Daigo's
mean,
green gelato.
Yeah,
she's basically the walking definition of like just a walking cannonball of destruction.
A human tank.
Yeah, I think she even says the line when she's reminiscing about the past, where she's like, "Everything I touch breaks." Like, oh god, that'd be terrifying to hear a small child say that to me.
yeah, and they put her. Sorry, go ahead, Frank.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, just a wee bit.
Yeah, and she goes to the place, the karate dojo the first time, and Daigo's like, "Oh, you can try your strongest punch on me, little one." And she like gets him right in the gut, and he's like, "It's taking me all of my energy not to fall down right now."
Punches him into the fifth dimension.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, yeah. It was this show did a lot of kind of callback stuff ish, if you could call it that. It definitely played into the whole shtick of like a hero and a villain dating. They have extreme powers and they have to keep it a secret. What crazy shenanigans can they come up with? And it got old a little bit, but I will say though that the thing that carried it for me was their ability to introduce new jokes, thankfully, and not just rehash things over and over and over again. But then also the delivery of the jokes. I found myself laughing a lot at just like the timing of things. Like they'll be talking, get quiet, and then someone will just pop up real quick, and it's just immediate fucking gut punches, uppercut, some stupid name for their punch combination and then
or they
death.
like lock hands and they look like they're fighting, but really they're just like, I'm holding their hand.
Yeah. There's one good sequence where Red Gelato pisses her off by saying something, and so like they're fighting, and it's been established previously that they, through winking and other facial gestures, they can signal to the other person their upcoming punches and kicks so that they can dodge them seamlessly. Well, this time around, because Gelato, being a high school kid, Red Gelato, and not really picking up on cues for when he's pissed off someone, specifically a girl, throws out a cue for what he's going to do, and Reaper Princess don't give a shit and just obliterates the fuck out of him like 3 different times, and it's perfect. So they do, like, even though they have multiple scenes of them doing that, there's one scene where he's in their hideout, in the Gecko hideout, infiltrating, and like she has to hide him real quick, and there like a timer pops up, and like in the matter of like 1.2 seconds, she flips him over onto the couch face up and sits on top of him, like on his face.
That
to which
scene.
like
Oh
great job first off. A nice like little sprinkle of etchiness, very very solid stuff there. But like they did that, they did the not picking up on signals and facial cues and fucking obliterating them. They did a couple other ones where it's like someone catches them and they have to do something stupid. So like even though they did it a couple of different times, at least the delivery and manner in which they like, I guess, quote unquote, executed the joke was different enough to where you're like, okay, this is still pretty funny.
Yeah,
and it didn't get stale.
That like I've seen. Well, it didn't get stale compared to other shows that I've seen where it's just the same shtick over and over and over again. Like, something to compare it to, I suppose, would be Life Lessons with Uromichi Sensei or Senpai or whatever the fuck it is. Like I enjoyed it.
You watch your mouth.
I enjoyed it. However, the jokes were very samey over and over again with minimal character development. While the character development was fine, the jokes were fresh enough that I felt like it carried it better than the like another show. Like the jokes were fresh to the point where it was fine. But there really aren't many spoilers to talk about in this show. Like I feel like this is kind of one of those shows that like even if we tell you a funny bit, it just comes out of left field that you're not gonna really know when it happens until it happens. So like the whole bit with her having to like sit on his face, which was fucking hilarious. Like that whole episode where he's just hiding out in her dorm and like the dad comes to visit too while he's visiting her, and he's like, you're trying to like propose to my like daughter or whatever, or be in a relationship with my daughter, show me the worst you've got. And they get into a fight, but that's where we find out that he used to be like an ex-henchman, and he fucking just flops and flails everywhere and plays dead. And it's just like, yes, you're a great henchman. I give you permission as long as you're not Red Gelato or some shit. And it's just like, like I don't know, the jokes, they were great. I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was funny. The voice actors definitely did a good job on this show for sure.
Yeah, I think though my biggest complaint is sort of what you just stated, in that there wasn't anything too spectacular that happened that like basically translates to there's no spoilers. Like I didn't, there wasn't a lot of like, oh my gosh, tune in next week to find out. It was all like goofy shit most of the time, which I mean, again, it's enjoyable. It's just one of those shows, like you said earlier, where you just kind of turn your brain off and go into a catatonic state and just watch and laugh and drool on yourself. But like the way they set up some of the quote unquote like serious tension periods of what's going to happen next. Are they going to have their relationship spoiled? Are they going to have to break up? Whoa, no. It all got resolved in like really kind of dumb manners. Like the first time they get found out by Pink Gelato, she notices them, and it's like this oh shit moment of like, did she actually notice? She's not saying anything. Next day comes, they're like, the suspense is killing me. Nothing's changed. What's gonna happen to us? And then it's just a matter of like, oh, she likes red gelato as well, so then she fights Reaper Princess for his love, and I'm like, okay. And then it's like, lol, you beat me, Reaper Princess. I guess I'm weak. I'll just have to deal with it. Ha ha ha.
I'll be your
Also,
lookout from
secret.
now on.
Yeah, I'll just be your lookout. And I'm like, okay, whatever. That's dumb. And like next time they get caught, technically they don't get caught. They go to like a beach and they just hang out as Fudo and Decimi, not as Red Gelato and Reaper Princess. So no one really knows who they actually are. But even though like people can kind of put the dots together, and then there's another time where this mysterious person gets a picture of them and is going to blackmail them, and it's like, oh no, what's going to happen? Fudo, you have to become my bitch, basically. And he's like, no, I can't because I love Decimi too much. And then we find out that the person that's trying to blackmail them is in love with Decimi. And oh, by the way, they're also the Heat Princess. And I'm like, okay, whatever.
Round and round and
Like
roundabout we go.
Yeah, it became kind of apparent that there was never an issue of like, what's gonna happen if we get caught? It's just like, slowly you realize like, oh, it's not about like, what if we get caught? It's just what stupid fucking outcome can we come up with to avoid this actually getting out and snowballing into an even worse situation? And most of the time, it's just some dumb thing of like, I guess I'll just have to compete for her love too. Haha, don't let your guard down, Red Gelato, because I, Heat Princess, am going to win her over. He's like, okay. And then Pink Gelato's like, I'll just be your lookout because I'm too weak right now. Haha. And it's like, okay. Like, that kind of realized pretty early on, like, okay, this is purely just comedy. Like, don't think it's going to be anything more than just kind of slapstick comedy with a couple of like funny flashback moments and stuff like that. So again, enjoyable watch. Would I watch it again? Probably not.
Like if I didn't have a new show to go to, or like a dub while I'm working, I probably wouldn't watch it either. Probably wouldn't purchase it either. But like if I had nothing, yeah, I'd watch this again. I think that the comedy was fine enough that I'd watch it again.
If I had nothing, I'd watch Boku no Pico, but goddamn, we have fucking stuff to watch. Thankfully,
your words,
that's a
not
stupid
mine.
argument.
Oh man, why?
If there was nothing else on this earth except that,
no, if there was
just like, well, fuck it, you might as well just watch it.
I'm saying that I've completely caught. No, what I meant was, if I've completely caught up with everything that I've watched or wanted to watch, and I had to go back and watch something, I would give this another watch.
Frank, look at me. Look at me through your webcam.
I am.
You know that's never gonna happen.
I know. That's why I'm saying
you're never gonna catch.
I probably won't
just
watch
be
it
honest.
Again.
Be honest to yourself and everyone else. You're never going to watch it again. No exceptions. There's no situation in which you will ever turn that back on.
Next year, just to prove you wrong, I will watch it again.
You are. So does that mean that you're going to catch up on your entire watch list and watch everything that you have there?
Yeah. No, but maybe.
Hey Google, set a reminder 1 year from now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Set a reminder for December 31st, 2023 to kick Frank's ass for lying.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
I accidentally triggered it. Hold on, guys.
Oh God,
Jesus.
his phone's actually
like currently, like I'm working my way through JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I'm on Stardust Crusaders. I'm nearly done. I think I'm on episode 43 or 44. Something like that. Nice. So I'm nearly done, and it's good, but it's frustrating because it's just like
the next arc is fantastic.
Well, it's
love,
more so what I texted you and you never replied to, of just like, when are they gonna get to this point? So yeah, I know you don't, but it's okay. But
you always whine and complain about stuff.
Oh my dear sweet baby, Jesus! Let's get back to this show.
Okay, wait. Well, time out. Hang on. No,
okay.
Drew. He just real quick, just to fill Drew in, our 2D overlord. He was complaining because he's like, "Where's Dio? I want Dio. Where's Dio, Daddy?" I'm like, dude, there's other fun stuff. Just shut up and watch. He's like, I want Dio, Daddy.
I don't
Give me
want to
Dio.
see. I don't want to.
Mums,
I don't want to
Dio.
see the dog fight a bird. Like, and just give me Dio. They've been. You've
Oh,
been
I want
hyping up.
Dio.
You've been hyping up Dio for fucking 40 some odd episodes. Just fucking
40 episodes. You've been hyping up Dio since fucking the second episode of
the return of Dio since like the beginning of the season. It's just like
yeah. Just be patient.
I have none of
It's
that.
called
The
edging.
payoff, Frank. The payoff.
It's called
called
edging,
edging, Frank.
God
You'd
damn
know that if you really watched JoJo's and you were a real JoJo's fan.
Golly. If I was a real JoJo's
Anywho.
fan and I had finished the series, I would have been sitting really in your lap at that theme park.
Yeah, you would.
Jesus.
Drew's just
I'll
like,
show
I don't
you
know
my
what
stand.
the fuck is going on.
I'm gonna get the eraser out and like just erase myself and my 2D-ness.
So
just
back to
get
Love
out.
After
We'll
World
just
Domination.
Turn yourself into a paper airplane and fly away.
Yeah.
Yes,
I-
Love
if
After
only.
World Domination.
Drew, what were your thoughts on this overall?
Well, I thought Dio wasn't in it enough, so
That's true. That's a very valid
I
point.
hate everything. I hate you all. You
I
jackals.
had fun. I went in expecting a little bit more substance, but that's fine. It was a joy to watch. It was fun seeing the parallels of like their quote unquote like evil villain or Sentai job is a quote unquote job that they do, and they have to like go to school and do other things. I really had fun when the professor was Big Gelato was introducing new things. Like in the beach episode, he talks about how their robot is 24 pieces or something. What did they call it? Robo Gelato, or I forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
For
anyways,
Gelato
like the
Claymore? No, that's when they combine
No,
into
that's the
5. I don't know
weapon.
what I don't. I'll look up what the other thing was called. Continue.
Yeah. They add the quirky like real life things of like, do you know how much this shit costs, by
Yeah.
the way? Like, do you know who pays the bills around here?
And then there was also like when they do the beach episode, they introduce this part of the gelato robot, and it's the left back shin. It's like the calf muscle, the boat.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, we're test driving it. It's also a submarine. We're gonna have fun." And he ignites himself, shoots off fireworks, and it turns the peach into like, I don't know, an enjoyable day for everyone.
That was
And
probably one of my favorite scenes was the beach.
Yeah.
Because it's I can't remember what the term is. It's the when someone doesn't understand the full context of a situation and they have to interpret, but they always interpret it the most wrong way possible.
Oblivious?
Where like, no, not oblivious. It's like Beast Princess thinks that Decimi is beating the fuck out of Fudo.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's not. She's like playing around with him. Like she has him buried in the sand to his head.
She's misinterpreting it.
Yeah, she's misinterpreting everything. But the best part was when she's like, "Oh God, did she actually kill him? No, that couldn't be." And Destiny's like, "Hey, Beast Princess," and then just everything explodes behind her, and Beast Princess is like, "Holy shit, she actually did it! She killed them all! Jesus Christ, this person's ruthless." I think I laughed the most at that part. Just again, delivery was like pretty good.
I also really enjoyed. I think the next episodes, the Reaper Princess gets promoted, and they're like, "Oh, by the way, your promotion is we're gonna fuse you with an animal."
Yeah, you're gonna be a really sexy gorilla.
And she's like, "Oh God, I can't do this." And Beast Princess is like, arguably, yeah, it should be me. I should do it. I'm the Beast Princess. And that's also is that also the infiltration mission where Fudo is going in to stop like some new weapon?
No, I think that's
Okay,
earlier. The infiltration one is like earlier when he gets a face full of vag.
Yeah, and he just sits there going, "It's fine. Everything's fine." And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." He's like, "No, don't be sorry, Sadami.
Dreams came true.
When you wish upon a butt." But my overall feeling is very similar to Frank's. I will watch it again. I did have fun, but I'm not going to put this on a list of need to watch at all. If it was the last show on Earth, by all means, it is something to turn your brain off of and watch. It's enjoyable and it has very obvious, like, point A to point B plots with fun stuff in between.
Yeah. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd recommend this show. Like, if you
Yeah,
needed, like, I'd recommend this show if you needed a show to like turn your brain off to and just enjoy something. This would just be up that alley. But like, if you're wanting something serious or you're wanting like plot development, this is not the show for you. Like, this is
absolutely
just
not.
joke after joke after joke, but they're kind of all samey jokes. So, if you're into
Yeah.
that, this is a
It-
great show.
I would even argue though that like for me to recommend this show, you'd have to be very specific. If you want a Sentai hero show based around a hero and a villain dating, and there's also comedy involved, then yes, this is quite possibly the only show that fits the bill for all of that. So here you go. Here's your one show. But if you're like, I want a comedy or I want to just see action and turn my brain off, I probably still won't even recommend this show as like in even like a top 10 for any of those categories. It again, it's an enjoyable fun watch one time through, but there's no point in watching it again. It doesn't have any like replay value. You're not going to go back and be like, "Oh, what are the things that I missed?" Because it's just going to be you're like, "Oh, right, they just tell that joke a couple different times in different manners." Right, forgot about that. Okay, cool. Glad I did this. So, it again, it was a fun ride, but it's mostly just that. You just one ride and that's it.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest, I wouldn't even say issue with the show, I think we've talked about it a few times, where there's very logical responses to a lot of things. And I know it's anime, we should suspend our disbeliefs. But every once in a while, something will happen. And although the characters react a certain way, I looked at it and thought, wouldn't they put more effort into connecting those dots? There's with Gelato Yellow, she's very in your face a lot of the time into what she knows and how she knows certain things about Fudo and what's going on. But at one point, I would just think she would lean over and be like, "Dude, I get it. Go have fun. Just don't ruin the team." But I think our opinion on this is just it's a show to watch. It's a show you can have fun watching, and it's a good show to just maybe even a palate cleanser if you've watched something that's too story heavy or something that's too gory or something that was too action packed. I would recommend this as just a show just to watch. And
Yeah.
I was gonna say I see Tyler disagreeing.
Nah,
No, don't even.
no. Palette cleansers can be better than this. No offense to this show, but
No offense to palate cleansers.
no, palette cleansers is always good. Palette cleansers are helpful. You need
Yeah.
those, but maybe not Love After World Domination.
Okay.
I'll
Okay.
I'll say one final thing and then
Sure.
we can kind of wrap this up. But it to me, I like part of me would have loved to have learned more about like how you get into the gelato because there's
Okay.
apparently like a recruiting and some sort of like audition ish thing because they talk about that with Pink Gelato, and I'd like to learn maybe a little bit more about the back history of like Gecko, how things began. But they made it again like very clear from the like episode 2, like we're not going to get into that shit.
Nope.
FYI, you're not going to learn anything about basically any other character other than Fudo and Decime, Red Gelato, and Reaper Princess. That's about all you're gonna get. And they have a narrator that goes, "Allow me to explain," and he like comes in and talks about like a situation, and he gets really fucking annoying after the 50th time of doing it in an episode. And it's like I know how to fucking read through the lines. I understand social cues. I get context, man. You don't have to explain it to me.
I feel like they were trying to
But,
go
like-
with like a Kaguya-sama type narrator, and it just didn't
No,
work.
they were trying to go for the old timey like superhero shows where it's like the like narration over what's happening in a battle or like what happened previously or like here's a flashback for why this is happening, blah blah. Like again, I get it. Like it's another tropey element, but it was very plainly clear from the moment this show began like hey, it's just going to be dumb action, comedy, and some really quirky moments, and that's about all you're gonna get out of us. You're not gonna get a lot of depth in your characters. You're not gonna get a lot of like backstory or lore behind these organizations. You're not even going to get really much about, who these people are outside of their roles, other than Red Gelato and Reaper Princess. Like, you are just getting comedy, superheroes, and dumb fucking situations they put themselves in. There you go. Have fun. So you just, again, if you're looking for more, don't come to this show hoping for it.
It's very surface level. So
Yes.
I guess as a wrap up, I want to thank everyone for joining us today. If you have suggestions on what we should watch next, please send them our way by giving us a tweet at Baka&Co Podcast over on Twitter, as long as it's not on fire and a sinking ship. But we will see what happens in the next few months.
He's referring to Twitter. He's referring to
Yes,
Twitter being
not
on
us,
fire
not us. No,
because
we're
it is-
fine.
I was like, and we'll play taps. Everyone salute as we go down in the Baka&Co ship. Goodbye, everyone.
Have a good night, everybody.